You know, they really don't want you to see what I'm about to show you, because they claim that when people who look like this wear the kilt and the plaid, that they are stealing culture. But there's a secret of Jura Island in Scotland that I think you're going to be surprised, and it's going to answer the question, is he stealing culture? Now, this will be part number 13 of the Black Nobility of Europe series. So let's get into it. Now, I'll be coming from this book. It's called A Description of the Western Islands of Scotland. It was published in 1703 by Martin Martin. Now, this is a first-hand account. He physically visited these islands and literally saw these people and wrote down what he saw, okay? So let's take a look at what he saw, okay? We'll be coming from page number 239, and he'll be describing the inhabitants of Jura. And let's just read what's in the red box. It says, the natives here are very well proportioned, being generally black of complexion and free from bodily imperfections. They speak the Irish language and wear the plaid bonnet as other islanders. Very interesting. Now, keep in mind, this book was published in 1703. That lets us know these people were there well into the 1600s, and they were speaking the Irish language, so they were not recently deported Africans. Very interesting that people with that complexion were speaking Irish and wearing plaid well into the 1600s. Very interesting. Now, this is the location of Jura, where you see that marker. And here's a close-up, okay? Now, if you make it to the end of the video, look in the upper left. You see that island? It's called Colonsay. I think you're going to be very surprised how those people look if you make it to the end of the video. But let's continue. Again, I want to stress there were no African plantations in Jura, okay? Now, I'm just going to summarize this page real quick. The Vikings are known to have invaded the island of Jura and surrounding areas. Now, at the bottom of the screen, I give an account. I cite the source. His name is Thomas William Shore. You see his photo. He lets us know that there were Vikings of a dark or black complexion who invaded the British Isles. So the question is, did dark complexion Vikings invade the island of Jura? I think that's a fair question, but I'll let you use your own judgment, okay? Very interesting. Now, this is the Dougal family. This is an ancient family who controlled the island of Jura and surrounding islands and areas. Now, when you look into the etymology of the Dougal surname, go down to the bottom where you see it says forebears, okay? Notice what I have underlined in the origin or history or etymology of Dougal's surname. You see what it says underlined in red, black or dark stranger. Very, very interesting, okay? Now, this is another island in Scotland. Again, here's Jura, there's Colonsay. So let's get an account from this author on what he noted about these people. We're coming from page 248. It says, the cattle bred here are cows, horses, and sheep, all of a low size. The inhabitants are generally well proportioned and of a black complexion. They speak only the Irish tongue. Very interesting with people with that complexion in the 1600s only speaking Irish. Very interesting. And you can pause the screen. This is just for context, a couple of notable things about the island of Jura, okay? And this is a whirlpool. It's I call the old hag. It's kind of dangerous, but if you're interested, you can pause the screen. The author gives an account of the whirlpool. and that's an actual photo of that whirlpool. Again, so am I saying go out and buy a kilt? No, I'm not saying that. But if you did, it wouldn't be stealing culture, because the picture you're looking at, that is historically accurate. Okay? And let me say this. And when I tell you what I'm about to say, everybody looked like us. You had indigenous Europeans. They mixed with the indigenous American Indians, and you know how they look. And you had percentage coming from West Africa. So your ancestry could be a mixture of the indigenous black Europeans mixing with the indigenous American Indians who look like us, and some of the West African ancestry. I'm just doing this series because people don't know about Europe in general. You know what I mean? You have to put all the pieces together. You have to study all aspects. You get what I'm saying? Because your ancestors fought hard to keep these surnames. You know, your surname is your name, you know, from your ancestor. There's always an exception, but they try to highlight the exceptions and make it the rule. Okay? All right. Y'all be blessed.